up, guys? Penguin Cobblepot here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Captain Hook. This is my new series called Villain Theories. Now, I have a theory that Captain Hook is a good guy, and I have a bunch of people and evidence that will back me up on this. First evidence is Peter Pan. His actual backstory is he abducts children, and then once they hit puberty, he murders them. Why? To be immortal. So, Pan made a deal with the Pixies, evil creatures that murder people and do evil stuff. Pan made a deal with them that he would be immortal so long as he kills children. But he didn't want to kill children, so in his messed up mind, he killed children that reached puberty because then you'll be considered an adult. And Captain Hook and Mr. Smee were one of those, or technically two of those Lost Boys. Captain Hook found out that Pam was going to kill him, so he and Mr. Smee escaped. And they found the Jolly Roger, and they are not technically pirates. They are not. They dress up and act like them, but they are not pirates. So Captain Hook and Mr. Smee escape to a ship called the Jolly Roger, which was destroyed and broken. Captain Hook wanted to defeat or kill Peter Pan to avenge all the Lost Boys already killed and to stop him from killing future victims. So, so Hook contacts the Tick-Tock Croc, makes a deal. Tick-Tock Croc would give Hook mortality if Hook gave him a hand in return. So he cut off his left hand and replaced it with a hook. Another part of the contract was the Tick-Tock Croc would constantly be trying to take away Hook's immortality by trying to kill him. So yeah. And then, so with that immortality, Hook got lonely because, his crew would either die or leave him. So he somehow managed to get Mr. Smee immortal too. I honestly don't know how, but he did. So when Peter brings Wendy and them to the island, you notice Captain Hook doesn't really try to go after the Lost Boys and them. He really only goes after Pan, and he never really meant to harm the boys. Like when he went and kidnapped them, they wanted him to be a part of his crew, because if they became part of his crew, then he would be able to get them back home safely. But they didn't listen, so he had no choice to make them walk the plank, which Pan saved them, only because technically they hadn't hit puberty yet, except Pan doesn't know. Wendy has. I'm not an idiot. Wendy has. She's about my age. So, assuming if Pan would have not brought them back to London, Wendy would have been killed within a few days. So, yeah. And, see, there are a lot of other stories like Captain Hook. Okay, so Wendy's father, now there are one part you might believe, one part you might not. First part you will believe is, at the end of the original Disney movie, Wendy's father says he recognizes the Jolly Roger floating away, because he used to be a part of Captain Hook's crew, but because Captain Hook wanted to save him, he brought him back to London where he once lived, and therefore saving his life. But Wendy's father's memory was somehow erased by Peter Pan. Therefore, he doesn't remember the captain or any of the crew, but he does remember the ship. And then there's another part. I have no idea if this is true or not. I'm going to go 50-50 on this. You can tell me if it's true. Is Wendy's father Captain Hook's son? A lot of people have said that. And I'm like, is it? Is he? Because, in the movie, Wendy was talking about, like, her mother's side of the family, sort of, but never talked about the dad's side of the family because he couldn't remember who they were. I'm thinking, is Captain Hook Wendy's father's dad? And therefore that would make Wendy, Michael, and John Captain Hook's grandchildren? Which would give me even more reason to want to save him? I don't know if that's true. I'm going to say it's an 80% possibility for me that it'd be true, because I do believe it, because there are a few parts where Captain Hook was like you know how he's like mean to the Lost Kids sort of, you know, to show us that pirate guy. But when he came like to Michael, John, and Wendy, he was very kind of nice. Like he wasn't like mean as like he was with the other kids. Like yeah. And with Jane in the second movie, spoiler alert by the way, Captain Hook almost kind of like, he wasn't like angry like he always is. He was more happy with her. Like, because that would be his great-grandchild, technically. Because Jane is Wendy's daughter. And if Wendy is Captain Hook's grandchild, or granddaughter, then it would make Jane his great-granddaughter. Also, if you know, so yeah, that's another part. And I know it has really nothing to do with Captain Hook being a bad guy, or a good guy, but technically it would be because he has even more reason to save them because, yeah. And also, well, yeah, because, like, he's their great-grandfather. Or, I don't know. But, also, Tinkerbell, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I told you Tinkerbell is a pixie, I think. So, in pixies, in mythological stuff, they are very mischievous and they are known to kill. And Tinkerbell, although she's jealous, she did still try to kill Wendy. Which is like, yes, she tried to kill Wendy. So, therefore she was banished. But Peter Pan didn't mean to banish her because it was his plan all along. I'm not an idiot. It was his plan. He just wanted it to seem like, he was the good guy, but he's not the good guy. And I could do it with any other villain that I think is a good guy. Like, I won't say whom is a good guy next time, but yeah, I hope you agree with this. If you don't, it's perfectly fine, but I will win the debate, because as much as Captain Hook is a pirate and stuff, he's not a real pirate. I know half the stuff I just said made no sense, but I even forgot what I said. But yeah, you're gonna have to agree with me on this. Captain Hook is a good guy, no doubt about it. See you all later.
Murder on call with the fight now. 20 years and it seemed like a lifetime. I've been hanging every day from a lifeline. Why these fuckers tell it in every night?